To the world, Olivia's life was a masterpiece. She was the polished wife of Eric Smith, a name that carried the weight of old money and influence. Their house was a modern marble glass stele overlooking a city that seemed to worship them. At galas, charity events, Olivia was a vision in designer clothes, her smile practiced and perfect, her hand resting gently on Eric's arm. People saw the pictures in glossy magazines and sighed with envy. They saw a woman who had effortlessly stepped into a fairy tale, a life curated for admiration and applause. They thought she had everything. They were wrong. They did not see the cracks forming beneath the flawless surface. Behind the heavy oak doors of their home, the masterpiece was fractured. The air was cold, thin with unspoken truths. For 2 long years, the ghost of another woman had haunted their halls. That woman was Sarah, once a friend Olivia had trusted with her deepest secrets. But it had grown into a roar. Sarah was pregnant. Eric, stripped of his charm, became a cold negotiator. He presented the divorce to Olivia not as a tragedy, but as a business transaction. He offered her money, a settlement, a clean break, as if their marriage was just another asset to be liquidated. The pain was a physical thing, a constant pressure behind Olivia's ribs. It was sharp and deep, a wound inflicted not just by betrayal, but by the casual cruelty of it all. Yet she refused to give them the satisfaction of a public collapse. There were no screaming matches, no tearful confessions, no desperate pleas for him to stay. Her sorrow was a private, sacred thing. When she finally left their shared house, she did so with a quiet finality that baffled onlookers. She packed 2 suitcases, her steps measured and sure. People whispered that she was weak, that she had surrendered. It was a profound miscalculation on their part. They mistook her silence for defeat. They confused her composure with surrender. But Olivia was not breaking, she was fortifying. In the quiet that followed her departure, she was not mourning the life she lost, but meticulously planning the one she would build. She knew that the loudest voice does not always win. Sometimes the most powerful move is to let others reveal their own ugliness. Her fight would not be waged with anger, but with an unshakable, patient grace. She was not weak. Her calm was a shield, her stillness a weapon. She held her head high, radiating strength. Her voice, when she spoke, was measured and low. While others clamored for attention, she observed. She listened. She learned. She understood a tabloid's battle was already lost. Her plan was not for a quick, messy victory. It was a long game, a careful construction of a future they could never touch. She would not beg for respect. She would command it. She re-entered the professional world with purpose. She found a role in a burgeoning media company. She did not take just any job. She chose a position aligned with her values, one where her intelligence could shine. She surrounded herself with new colleagues who knew her as Olivia, a brilliant strategist, a creative force. Each successful project was a brick in her new foundation. She rebuilt her name not on rubble, but on the solid ground of her own merit. It was during this ascent that Edward re-entered her life. They had met years ago, a fleeting connection. He was unassuming, a prince without a throne, with quiet confidence and deep respect. He did not see a broken woman. He saw a queen building her own kingdom. He did not try to fix her or fight her battles. Instead, he stood beside her, an ally, a partner. His presence quietly affirmed her worth, contrasting Eric's transactional way. He listened to her. He valued her opinion. He saw the person, not the story. Meanwhile, Sarah watched Olivia's rise with corrosive jealousy. The man, the house, the impending baby, yet Olivia's dignity haunted her. Sarah's insecurity drove her to attack. She fed false stories to gossip blogs, whispered lies to the press, and fabricated stories about Olivia's mother, hoping to shatter her. The moment of reckoning arrived on a cool autumn evening at the Smith family's annual foundation gala. The grand ballroom was filled to capacity, tuxedos, shimmering gowns, a room of allies, enemies, loyal friends, and the ever-present press. their cameras flashing like constellations. The air hummed with power, influence, hushed gossip. Sarah, draped in red silk, saw her opportunity. She believed it was her stage, her moment to deliver the final killing blow. She thought Olivia's silence had left her defenseless, an easy target in a room full of sharks. She had no idea she was swimming into a carefully set trap. With a sharp clap, she commanded silence. Then the performance began. She accused Olivia of harassment, threats, unhinged violence, painting herself as a terrified mother-to-be hunted by a scorned ex-wife. She looked to the powerful Smith family to cast Olivia out. The room held its breath. Sarah smiled inwardly, believing she had won, but Olivia's silence had been a vessel, and now it was full. Edward, standing calmly by her side, simply raised his phone. A clear recording filled the room. It was Sarah's voice, captured weeks earlier. The recording was damning. It laid bare her entire scheme: lie to the press, frame Olivia, manipulate Eric, secure her position by destroying another woman. The proof was undeniable. The shift was immediate. Sympathy turned to fury. Sarah's mask shattered. Eric stared at the floor as their world collapsed under a single truth. Her steps even and unhurried. She moved through the parted crowd. She passed the patriarch of the Smith family. He reached for her arm, whispered, frantic, late apology. She did not flinch or slow. She refused to go back. She rejected the role of the wronged wife. Her departure was not an escape. It was an ascension. She was leaving their gilded cage for good. The consequences for Eric and Sarah were swift and brutal. The Smith family cut Eric off completely. His name was scrubbed from the letterhead, his access severed. He lost power, standing, and the respect he'd taken for granted. Sarah's web of lies disintegrated. The press turned on her. A public that had pitied her now saw only spite. They lost everything they had schemed for. They had misunderstood the woman they'd wronged. They thought her value was tied to them. They were mistaken. Olivia had never sought revenge. She had only sought truth. Her plan was never destruction. It was preservation. The preservation of her dignity. Time and truth were her allies. She walked away not just free, but richer in ways money could not measure. She kept the career she had built with her own two hands. She kept the life she had forged in the fire of her trials. She was finally seen not as an attachment to a powerful man, but as a power in her own right. She had won not by fighting on their terms, but by creating her own. Edward remained by her side, a partner who loved her for her strength. He did not seek to control her. He sought to champion her. Their relationship was built on mutual power. Not dominance, not submission,